Hey, Chai After Dark listeners, thank you for joining us today. We're doing a special crossover episode with Reality Bio with Robyn, and you'll notice we reference some other episodes where we talked about Stassi or Katie Maloney, and you can find those on Robyn's Reality Bio with Robyn podcast. So please go check that out and enjoy. Welcome to Chai After Dark, everyone. I'm Shabnam, and today I am here with a very special co-host. We are doing a crossover episode with Robyn from Reality Bio with Robyn. What's going on, Robyn?
I am bursting at the seams to talk about this show, and I'm not a recap person. I don't do recap podcasts. House of Stassi has changed the maybe trajectory of my life, maybe just an episode or two of my podcast. We'll figure it out. But I'm so happy to be here, and I love this so much, and I'm so grateful that you want to do this podcast with me. I have a lot to say.
I know. Thank you. Thank you so much for doing this with me. I was like, I have to talk about this. And, you know, you are the best, most right person to talk about this with. We were like holding ourselves back from getting into it on the Katie Maloney episode. So
I was going to say, like, you can feel the energy coming out. Like, I had so much feedback of this should just been like a House of Stassi situation. But I also want to respect what my podcast is. And it's about respecting and biography of the reality star people out there. And so Katie deserves her own episode, but she is so part of this show and does so well in this show that it was hard for us to separate. So I think we made the right choice by making this 2-part episode. So we're going to do 2 parts.
Yes. So this is 1 through 4. And then in a couple days, we'll release 5 through 8.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm excited. And so I know sometimes it slips out that I'm a big sports fan. And so I think this episode will probably be my best episode because I feel when you watch sports, there's always the play-by-play guy and then the color commentator. I'm much better at the color commentator role, and you're definitely taking the play-by-play role for this episode.
Yes.
So you're going to be the leader. You're going to be in charge. You're going to lead me through this, and I will do what I'm best at, which is reacting and showing my emotions.
I love it. I love it. Should we get into it? I mean,
yes.
Please. We've been like texting back and forth all week, so we're very excited. So I feel like I should just jump right in.
I'm going to take a deep breath. Let's go.
Okay. So the whole series, long-awaited series, begins with Stassi returning to reality TV 6 years after being fired from Vanderpump Rules. So the show immediately breaks the fourth wall, and we learn later that this is the test shoot, I think. I'm not sure if they tell us right now. Okay, yeah. So this is the test shoot, and basically she's like narrating her own comeback, but she's taking us through this test shoot where we're introduced to her inner circle, which is, you know, all the people on her payroll. Just a little spoiler of what's to come, the drama to come.
I'm like, don't come at me. Don't come at us because that becomes a hot line later on. But yes, you're right. Yeah. They are all on her payroll.
Yeah. So it's Kristina Kelly, who we know from Vanderpump Rules. Taylor, who is, I think, like her personal assistant / publicist. Am I right about that? You know?
Wrong. Completely wrong. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Okay, good. Good. Tell me.
So we talked about her on my Stassi episode, but this is months ago.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
So Taylor on her own right is a podcaster. And by podcaster, I mean she has a podcast now, and now she's with Stassi on this journey. But she had an XM series before she ever met Stassi. And I don't know the name of it. Someone told me once, I don't remember. I have one of those crazy memories, which brings me no value in life. But my memory is not like, what do you call it? If someone has like a visual memory or like whatever.
Photographic memory?
Yeah, I don't have that.
Yeah.
No. But so I have like this auditory, I can remember exactly where I was when I hear something.
Interesting.
And it's so insane. So I know when, for example, Taylor, when she came out, I knew she was divorced. Again, this Taylor person is a big part of my life. That's why I got defensive when I said you're all wrong.
No, I love it.
Because she was a XM person on Cosmo Radio, which does not exist anymore. Someone I listened to all the time when I was out working, because I worked in outside sales in the medical world. So I would like literally hope no boss is hearing me, but they're not my boss anymore. Would book schedules around so I could be in the car and listen to Taylor.
Oh my God, I love it.
And
That's
so
awesome.
I remember where I was driving on Melrose. It's a street that exists where I live. And when I went through her marriage journey with her, I went through her divorce journey with her.
Oh,
When
wow.
she announced she was a lesbian and in love with another Taylor. I was
Oh.
at an intersection on Melrose. On the left was Albertsons, and I know it's 2016, and the gas station to my right, the gas prices had just hit $3 in 2015. And I have such a strong visual,
Uh,
which, I mean, I wish we had those gas prices, but
Good old days, right?
2016 was a different time.
Yeah.
But I have such
Yeah.
strong memories of everything. I know the price of the Slurpee that was at the gas station. Like, it's such a, like, when anyone talks about Taylor, that's the first memory I get of her talking about and admitting to her audience that she was a lesbian. But they met before that, and they met because she was a guest on the show because Bravo had them do the rounds of media.
Oh, okay.
And
Awesome.
so Taylor just had Stassi as a guest, and they fell in love as friends, as whatever partners. And
Yeah.
so I guess I got really defensive of Taylor right there that she's an assistant, because maybe they didn't
Yeah.
clarify it, and maybe I only know that deep connection. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
I would say in that moment, Taylor was higher up in whatever the world of
Right.
media is.
Hmm.
And they just like fell in love as friends. And I have work friends like that too, that we work at different
Yeah.
companies now, but like that you always have each other's back. You like, some go higher, some go lower. Like, you just go through
Yeah.
that work journey, work wife together.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's 100% who they are.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry to
That's
interrupt.
so
I got
cool. No,
way off
no,
a tangent,
I'm glad you corrected me. So I kind of remember from the first episode too, it's like Taylor and Taylor, but they call her wife Teddy, right?
which I'm upset by. But I
Why? Why
looked
does that
into
upset
it
you?
because their names are
Okay.
Taylor.
Yeah,
Both their
Taylor and
names are
Taylor.
Taylor. But
Yeah.
I looked up the information, and the best I can see is that it was just an easy way for the cameras.
Interesting.
But do we have to rename ourselves for cameras? I don't love that.
Yeah. Why? How would
Her
they
name's
differentiate
Taylor. Her
her?
name's Taylor
Yeah.
Donahue. I love her. I love the story how they met, and her name is Taylor. And
But
I
why
don't,
couldn't they just say Taylor and Tay or something? Like, where did Teddy come
yeah.
from? I don't
And
know.
they do, if you watch the whole thing, they do slip up
Uh,
they slip up a bunch because it's not
yeah.
natural.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So, and Teddy slash Taylor is pregnant.
Hmm.
And so they're a wonderful couple. We'll get more into them in the following episodes. And then there's the Georgies. Georgie, who is Stassi's sister, and
Hmm.
Georgina, who is Beau's half sister from Italy. And they have their own drama. And then, of course, we have
Hmm.
Beau, who is Stassi's husband, and her kids, Hartford and
Who I
Messer,
love.
who, yeah, they're so cute. And then Rob, who's honestly kind of forgettable most of the time, except for when he like kicks up drama. Right.
Correct.
So we're first introduced to, oh, sorry. We start out with a bang at the test taping, like I was talking about earlier, that Stassi and Beau basically had drama during the Vanderpump Villa taping. So she used the D word, divorce, in their fight and the Vanderpump Villa shoot, which I love that they have the footage of because they keep flashing
Yes.
back to it, and I love that. And
And I'll say, production
mhm,
value wise, I love that they do this fog light situation for
mhm.
the flashbacks, because usually, even with Bravo or like a Sister Wives, it's more trashy. It's like a sepia tone. It's black or white. I
Yeah.
love that like foggy effect they
Yeah.
have. It feels elevated to me.
Yeah, I know. I like it too. So the whole entire group, the whole cast is up in arms about this because they had a very bad fight. And then turns out the root of the fight is that Beau has tattooed his sister's name on him, but has not tattooed Stassi's name. And so this is like very upsetting to her. I don't know. Is this something that would really upset you?
Okay, so this is not in my notes, but right when you said it, I just had a memory of my real life. So my brother has one of my brothers, I grew up with three brothers, has my initials on an anchor tattoo on his arm.
Okay. Cool.
He's not married. He has had, I don't, I hope he is someday. I don't care, whatever he wants. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm going to say he's more like on the Rob trajectory,
Okay.
but I like his partner right now. I love 10 out of 10. If she ended up being my sister-in-law, no complaints, love her. My kids and I love her, but it's just not something I ever like push on my brother.
Uh-huh.
I don't think, I won't name her. She would not care at all about this.
Same. Look, I
She would
don't think
not
I would care
care that
either.
my brother had my name. She'd be like, yeah, that makes me love your brother more.
Yeah. It's not even like an ex-girlfriend, which would be kind of lame, but I still
Yeah.
wouldn't care.
It's like a
But it's
mom
like
tattoo.
yeah, it's like a mom tattoo. It's like, who
Who cares?
cares? You know?
Yeah.
So my like the most captivating thing to me about Stassi is the same thing that I find the most annoying and unbearable, and that's that she's both extremely self-aware, but it's like so hard for her to make changes that aren't baby step level, and she's just
Mhm.
self-professedly selfish.
And she
But she's like,
is.
mm-hmm,
It's complicated because I do love her more now than I've ever loved her. And it's not like I was ever a big Stassi person. I always just loved watching her.
yeah,
This, and we'll get into it. I at the very end of the last episode, I cried
mm-hmm,
because I felt some empathy, and I
yeah,
never thought I'd be on a podcast talking about Stassi, but then saying I feel empathy and I'm crying towards her, while I still think she has so much more growth
yeah,
to go. But is that, we'll get into it later. I don't want to spoil it, but is
yeah.
that produced too? Is her
Y-
saying, like, is her like showing lack of growth? I don't know how to word it. You touched on it perfectly. Like,
Like, is it a
is this,
shtick?
yeah, are we getting suckered into this? Has she already evolved and she's playing into this? I get into it way deep in my head.
Yeah, I had the same thought throughout. I'm not
Okay,
sure
good.
either. Like, I'm wondering if it is like part of her character for the show,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
So other than the test tape, one of the other biggest storylines we start out with is that Stassi's trying to reconnect with Katie Maloney. So I love that we get a little Vanderpump nostalgia and also like some behind the scenes about how they felt during like the last few
Mm-hmm.
seasons and like what was going on. And that again, it's like so much fourth wall breaking, so much like next generation of reality TV. It's like I love it.
This is the next level of reality TV.
Yeah.
I really think, like, I was actually talking to someone about this show offline, and I just said it made me feel like Bravo was tired. Bravo has to do better. I know we're
Hmm.
coming up on new seasons of Salt Lake City. I know we're going to do the whole, like, whatever all-star cast situation in Bravo they're happening. But
Hmm.
do you remember? Okay, you're a Bravo fan.
Hmm.
Years and years ago, someone asked Andy Cohen in an interview and said, when will you know that the Real Housewives is over? And he
Hmm.
said, I will know it's over when I put them all on an island from different casts and let them fight it out.
Oh,
So what's
wow.
happened?
Okay.
Here we are.
Yeah. Here
And
we
so
are. Yeah.
now I think someone might have listened like I listened and you listened and are creating next generation with this type of show. I made that all up.
Yeah.
That's just me, the historian in me, looking at facts.
I love it. I love you're the best historian, my favorite by far. So they both have words for each other. And then Katie says she feels like if the person didn't come out of Stassi or is married to Stassi or is on Stassi's payroll, then Stassi doesn't have time for them. And this
True.
kind of, yeah. So Stassi kind of like takes it and she's like, it's funny and it's kind of true, right? But this ends up like unraveling with the rest of the cast later. But they end up making up in the moment. And Stassi comes home and tells Beau, and he's like skeptical about it. So we talked a little bit about this on the Katie episode. I think he's more just worried about how this is going to emotionally affect Stassi.
I do too. I also think Stassi knows what she's doing.
Hmm. Yeah, same. Yeah. Um, so he's not the only one who's skeptical, though. Stassi mentions the payroll comment to Kristina Kelly, who seems to have a lot of old beef with Katie and also a little bit of jealousy. And I feel like this was kind of intentional on Stassi's part. I feel like it was a little bit of like production.
I'm going to say it right now. I think it's mean friendship behavior as far as
Mm,
Stassi. I think Stassi, she is a producer on the show. I think she produced this moment in a kind of not nice way to her friends.
they all
Is
kind
that
of, yeah,
seem
I think you're
evil? Like,
right.
I don't know if she's evil. Like, she's a producer and she talks about breaking the fourth wall and producing. And she even says at one point, and I taught my family how to be on reality TV.
Yeah.
And so when they don't do what she wants, she has a reaction to it,
Hmm.
which is making my mind break a little bit because I'm still like appreciate the old school part of it. But it really upset me with the Kristina Kelly of
Christine.
it all
Hmm.
because I don't like friends being pit against each other. And I feel like what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. I think it was set up to cause drama. And I don't like that as just someone that
Yeah.
likes friends.
Yeah. Same. And I think, we'll talk more about it in the later episodes, but it comes kind of like
Hmm.
to the surface more then. But Christina Kelly takes this and she runs with it and she goes
Yeah.
and like tattles to Taylor and she kind of makes it sound worse than even the way Stassi put it.
Hmm.
Right. At the same time, Katie's planning a lesbian night to take Georgie out to meet women because Georgie's bisexual. She's new to LA and she's fresh out of a divorce. So she's looking to meet women. And of course, during lesbian night, which looks fun, it's at a cool bar. Georgie's like checking out girls. Taylor then confronts Katie at a separate table. And Katie she like tries to explain herself and they seem to patch it up. I feel like Taylor kind of takes it more like how, after the explanation, she accepts like Katie's explanation
She
and
gets
takes
the
it how,
assignment. She gets
yeah,
she understands. Okay.
yeah. But I think it also tells her how like much Christina Kelly is harboring resentment towards her. And so, again, some foreshadowing of what's to come in later episodes. But it's also funny because she gets very hurt and she says that and she's like, I just I don't want to not be welcome here like I was on Vanderpump. And
Mhm.
she's like really emotional about that. She's like, I don't need to do this. And I find that very fascinating about her because I feel like she knows she's good at reality TV and she can do it, but she wants to do it on her terms.
I We'll get into a little bit on this episode when Ariana comes into the sandwich shop, but
Hmm.
I've never felt more connected to Katie and like that Katie has gotten it more in this moment. I feel like
Hmm.
she's so vulnerable. And I blame the editors for Vanderpump Rules for not letting us see this side of Katie more.
Hmm.
Because I think it's always been there. I think it's always who she has been.
Yeah. So let's talk about the sandwich shop moment. What were you thinking about it?
I was I was so happy to see Ariana, obviously.
Yeah, she looks great.
She looks great. It makes me want to dye my hair brown, but I've done that before. It doesn't work out. But now that Stassi and Ariana are brown, I'm like, should I?
So
Yeah.
I have to confess, I like did a whole chat GPT thing with a picture of mine to see myself with like different hair colors. And like I did one with like brown highlights that I sent to my hairstylist and she's like, we're gonna do this. Like we can't do it this week because like my next appointment's like next week. But she's like, the one after that, we're gonna do this. I was like, okay, cool. I'm
Are you
excited.
going to go like that tone, whatever that tone is, whatever
Like
that
it's
color
going to
is?
be highlights with that and it's going to be more that tone at the bottom, but I'm going to have still some darker at the top.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
obsessed. I need to see all the pictures when it happens.
I'm
Um,
just saying like they're inspiring new hair to everyone, I feel like.
the laughter, the tears, the hair choices. I mean, these are
Love it all.
cultural moments that we need
Yes.
with everything going on. So when I saw the sandwich shop, I loved that Katie acknowledged. First of
Hmm.
all, when we talk about how they do the flashbacks and they acknowledge Vanderpump, They never actually show Vanderpump clips,
Yeah, which I like.
which I appreciate and understand. And they can't legally, different network, different
Yeah.
universe, literally universal, different universe. Um, but it was so good to see them back. And then for Katie to acknowledge and for Stassi to acknowledge that the reason that Ariana and Stassi were not close is because of Tom
Yeah.
Sandoval, which brings up a whole nother thing of emotions I don't have time for today or any day, to just how like the men separating the women of it all.
Yeah.
And that like loyalty to men can sometimes cause you to not be true to like-minded females was a nice reminder to see. And I was glad it was acknowledged.
Yeah. And that era is so dated and so
Yep.
not aligned with the like new generation of reality TV that we're seeing.
100%. But
Yeah.
it was so good to see her. And you seen that online controversy that like Ariana had a ring on or engagement ring on?
Oh, interesting. A little bit of that. Yeah.
I looked at it, I couldn't find it. And I actually, I don't really care. Not that I don't care about if she gets married or engaged or not. I just think I don't follow Ariana Maddox for that. I don't give a
Yeah.
shit if she's engaged or not. Because she's
Yeah.
not someone that cares about marriage. It's not like a big thing for her. Like,
I'm
I
just,
don't care.
yeah, same. I'm like way more into like what outfit she wore on Love
Her
Island
hair,
that night. Yeah.
her
Her hair. Yeah.
fashion, her businesses. Like, oh,
Yes.
cool, she's engaged or not engaged, or she's wearing a ring on a finger that you guys accept. Like, I don't care. Like, and
Yeah.
it's such as like a discourse that I'm like, nope, don't care.
Yeah. Same.
But so I watched
Yeah.
it once, watched it twice, and was like, maybe there's a ring, maybe there's not. But I did love that in their own business, they're stamping their own bags because I can
Yes.
relate to that.
Yeah.
That's
I love
something I
it.
like. That I caught. That I was like, I tracked. I loved that, and I just love them together because that's the first time since like one of the nasty Vanderpump Rules we've seen them
Yeah.
on
Since the
screen together,
finale.
right?
Yeah, since like the last reunion. I think so, yeah. And I love them together. I would be happy to have more of Ariana in the next season, but I don't know.
I want her all the time on my
Yeah.
screen. I just
Yeah.
Are you going to talk about Beau coming up? I was going to say comment,
Yeah.
but okay.
Yeah, so I was going to get into like a little bit of Georgie first.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we
Please,
see
please.
Georgie moving in with Stassi and she gets her feet under like just to get her feet under her in LA, but then Georgina who's visiting long term is also staying there.
We have
So
two
Georgie
Taylors. We
and
have two Georgina type names a
yeah.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So Georgie and Georgina are living together in one room in Stassi and Beau's house, which is fascinating. And basically, we see like Georgie ends up blabbing about Stassi to
Mm.
everyone. And like Stassi obviously takes offense because she's like criticizing her like that she never cleans, that she, is gets really angry, that, all these different things about Stassi that she's probably gripes she's had her whole life. And Stassi also feels taken advantage of because she's living in Stassi's house doing this. But Georgie feels like, she's just trying to bond with her sister.
Mm-mm.
And so like they end up
Nope.
getting into it at dinner and there's also the whole Rob of it all. Like, did Georgie
Mhm.
and Rob hook up? We start seeing like the threat of this, but it doesn't really like it comes up more a little later.
Later. Yeah.
So at the same time, oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I'm saying, this was upsetting. And again, I'm not going to try to make it all about me, but we watch reality TV because there's something in there that is making us feel connected.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so in no way, and I'm going to say things from this episode and next episode, in no way does my family look like this. But
Yeah,
sometimes there are things that I see that I'm like, oh, I see that. Oh, no, no, no. No, I have
yeah,
opinions about that, or that's upsetting to
yeah,
me. And I had a really hard time with Sassi's sister
yeah.
on this
Same.
entire show. Just
Mm-hmm.
the entitlement, ungratefulness. And I might sound like a total terrible person, and we all lean on families at certain points, but I wasn't a fan.
Agree. So I'm also a younger sister, and I've been in this position where like I've been single, older sister with two kids, moved in for a bit. I did not freeload and not contribute financially. I mean, it sounds like Georgie is actually taking financially from Stassi in addition to living there. So that's wild. Yeah.
She's just like, I'm moving out, but like you have to pay for the rent because she doesn't work.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when I'm in your house, I can't wake up with the kids. What world am I living
Yeah.
in?
Yeah, I know. And I mean,
No.
if you're living with someone and you're part of a household and there's children, like you live there and you help or you don't live there, you know? Like,
Part of the team or not part of the team, you choose.
right. Right,
And I
exactly.
will say, like, from the women I have like these three sisters that have cleaned my house when I've been a working mom. They are like family to me.
Mhm.
I mean, there are some times where my husband's like, "Oh, they're not cleaning." I'm like, "I don't care. They're here for me. They're here to like help me and like they're here for 2 hours and we get the house ready for them and I just like seeing them and they make me feel
Yeah.
like they're just part of my team and I'm sorry
Yeah.
the toilet, you clean the toilet if you don't like it. Not my
Yeah.
problem to my husband.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
they do what I don't wanna do, or even, like, the people that helped me when my kids were very young with, like, nannying or I didn't have a nanny, but, like, just the preschool they're at. Like,
Watching
these are my
them. Yeah.
people. These are my
Yeah.
team. I have a
Yeah.
whole team. They're all equal to me. We all have a
Yeah.
goal, and when Stassi's little sister was talking shit about Stassi to her people,
Yeah.
I did not see this tattling. The same thing would happen to me. Like, you build a team. You have a team of women around you when you have kids. And
Yeah.
I think anyone in my team that heard someone else talking bad about me
Yeah.
would have reacted the same. I don't know if I'm jumping ahead, but that was like very upsetting that she broke that trust because I don't
Yeah.
think that her sister and her are that close. But the
Yeah, and
people
I
that
think
watch your kids that are in your home, those people are
yeah.
close to you.
Yeah, and I think being on TV adds another layer because it's like, oh,
Yeah.
you're talking shit about her on TV. So I
Mhm.
kind of like the way they did this because they didn't show the shit talking until Georgie
Mhm.
was like, she talks a lot of shit. And then Stassi confronts her and then she's like, no, I didn't. And then they flash back to all the time she talked shit. It
Of
was
course, I love
it was
that.
chef's kiss, like
Gold.
chef's kiss wonderful, you
Yep.
know. Um yeah, so like at the same time this is going on, Beau visits Taylor to see how she's doing with Teddy's pregnancy.
Yeah.
And then Taylor asks Beau how she's doing, and he ends up crying about how Stassi dismisses his feelings about wanting to go back to work. She'll be like, I'll just pay you. And then he says he ends up feeling like a 1950s wife, which was interesting, right? Because he's kind of acknowledging that women have suffered this for forever. But it's
I
also
like the
sad.
acknowledgement.
Yeah, exactly. But it's also sad to see because he seems like a pretty good guy. So it's sad to see like him kind of being so broken up about it.
I was split because I guess there's been part of me in times of my life where I would love to say like, "Oh, I will pay you whatever salary you make
Hmm.
to take care of the home." But also you're married, so that's not paying me.
Right.
What
Right.
are you talking about? It's all the same. I don't
Yeah.
know what maybe they have a prenup I'm not aware of. But like that's a bizarre thing to say. Like that's a
Yeah.
weird way to phrase it. And we'll I, we'll get into it towards the end where she's more vulnerable and actually explains
Yeah.
why she does not want him to go back to work, which I thought was a really interesting. What she is saying is completely valid and understandable and relatable. I wish she said it in this episode
Yeah.
because I was kind of mad at her.
The
Like,
same.
let the man be who he is. And just
Yeah.
how I'm sure being a woman and working and then playing the roles you kind of think you should play or want to play, it's complicated. I mean, I don't know how else. I have no fancy, nice way to say it. It's complicated to be who you want to be and who you think you want to be. And then you get married and have kids and you want to be something different. And it
Yeah.
shifts. And like, there's a time where I wanted to be a stay at home mom.
Yeah.
And then I changed my mind and I want to be allowed
Yeah.
to change my mind.
Right. And and you just see him wanting to feel a little bit like himself. And I feel like I hear this from women a
Mhm.
lot when they have young kids.
100%.
Like you're like, okay, I love my kids. I'm taking care of my kids, but I want to feel a little bit like me. And like
Hmm.
I feel like he articulated that really well.
So
And
well.
I felt for him in that.
Relatable. I felt it.
Yeah,
And
totally.
he also, how do I say this? It was very confusing to me, and I might come across as such an obnoxious person, but my kids were very easy
Hmm.
as far as, and not no kids easy. That's crazy to say. That's an insane statement. But
Hmm.
when they talk about how their kids are harder, I've been around
Hmm.
what parents claim their kids are harder, and that I've seen some harder kids.
Mm.
Like, there are
Interesting.
some hard kids, and I'm not saying I have no idea if it's environment, nurture, nature. I have no idea. I have one experience, and it's my kids, and my kids have
Yeah.
never acted like those kids have, and they're very limited time on screen. So maybe
Yeah.
just what I'm seeing is like a weird environment for them. But when they
Maybe.
talk about how hard their kids are, I wanted to take a nap. I was
Okay,
worn out.
like I really hope this isn't insulting to parents because I'm not a parent, so I have no idea what I'm saying. But, Stassi's a little bit of not a super easy person. So maybe just the
I was
apple
gonna
doesn't
say
fall that far,
nature,
right?
nurture, what's in the
Yeah.
dogs and the pups, like all the things, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm easy, but the things they're showing and the things they're expressing are not things I've dealt with as a parent. Is that a nice way to say it? Because it
Sure.
looked
Yeah.
exhausting to me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, great. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not my normal.
Yeah. So now we get to the staycation from hell. So this is Stassi's staycation that she's planning. I assume this is because they don't want to be away from the kids for very long. So they're trying to do like a
Yeah.
staycation in a fancy house in, Bel Air. And who does she get to find this house for
Whoop,
her?
whoop.
None other than Chriselle from Selling Sunset.
Who
And
I did
I
not
was
know
just,
anything about until you brought up one of our podcasts is probably not coming out till after this, but with Bree.
yeah.
So then I binged
Yeah.
all of Selling Sunset. And so I'm like, Chriselle's on TV, like a crazy person.
Yeah. Yeah. That was so cute. I love that little
I loved it.
crossover. Yeah.
Same.
And so basically, Stassi says that then we see like her in her confessional and she tells us that the dinner that the like little staycation is going to be like a dinner, have, a fancy dinner with it. And the fancy dinners and trips in reality TV is kind of like a team meeting. And I loved that
I put this in
because
my notes
yeah,
circled because
yeah,
that's what we talk about, right? The breaking of the fourth wall. She's
yeah,
like, by vacation, by staycation, by dinner party. I mean, as a producer, we've decided we're going to put everyone together in a room and we're going to air this all out. And it's a
yeah,
team meeting. This is a work event. It is what it is.
yeah. And I'm just like, I
Loved
love
it.
these takes. This is again why this is like,
Love it.
she's taking it to the next level. So good for
Yep.
her. She's like, I could see a little Kris Jenner in her. Maybe not,
Mm.
as much as Kris Jenner, but she'll get somewhere. I love it.
Can we talk about that for a
Um,
second?
yes.
She acknowledged it once. And again, I've only watched one episode of any of the Kardashians. I just touched my mic.
Hmm.
Sorry, I got excited. I've only watched one episode of the Kardashians, and it's for personal reasons. If you want to know, listen to past episodes. Um, but it was weird to me that she's obsessed this much. And I don't know. How did you feel? Like I don't know. It comes up over and over again. And it was, I don't know, made me uncomfortable, especially the bathroom situation. We'll get to it in the next episode that we tape because it's towards the end of the show. But how do you feel about her wanting to be a Kardashian and saying it out loud? I like people. Okay, I'm going to interrupt because I'm just like processing. I like when women can say, this is what I want to be and not feel ashamed of it. But that was
Hmm.
strange for me. I don't know. Am I overreacting?
No, I think it could go either way. It could either be
Okay.
really weird or it could be another one of these breaking the fourth wall things. Like, how many people do you think have done a reality TV show and been like, I want to be the next Kris Jenner? And they just don't say
Yeah.
it. And she's the only one that's saying it,
Yeah,
you know?
fair.
Like, it's just, there's like a million families, a million shows that have done that want that and they just don't get it. Right. So, but at least she's kind of just being honest.
But do you want that or which part does she want? The money? The
I
fame? There's a
mean,
lot of darkness.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and I think you kind of see some of that coming out, right? Like if you're going to play producer with your husband, with your
Mm-hmm.
sister, with your
Oof.
friends, people aren't always going to like it, you know? And I think if you're the mom doing it with your kids, it's honestly maybe a little more sinister and potentially abusive psychologically, but they maybe won't realize that for a while.
Mhm.
But I think your husband and your friends will.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I just thought that was a dark thing to want because I don't think I want that family, but I would be fine if I woke up as a billionaire.
right. Everything's at a cost, right? Nothing comes for free, I guess. I mean, they've been through it, right? Like
Yeah.
none of their I mean that amount of like fame and wealth obviously puts a really like strain on all of their relationships, their parents' relationship, their yeah, I mean, I don't know.
And Beau's
How
hurting
much yeah. 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 So, um as intended, the staycation dinner explodes into great reality TV.
Can I say
And
one thing quickly about
yeah,
the
go
dinner
for it.
though?
Go for it.
I'm a
Yeah.
food person. I do that for a living. Did you hear what they said about the goat cheese balls?
Oh my gosh. Yes, we need to talk about that.
Because you sent me a picture. But
Yeah.
okay, first of all, in your defense, your goat cheese balls were from Vegas, which is like the
Yes.
up to date, I would say, Vanderpump property. Is that fair to say?
I think so. I mean, if they were going to invest more in any one, I would think they would invest in the Vegas one.
Over, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the whole point was that, well, you can tell it because you've actually tried them
Hmm.
and what they said about them cracked me up. So please
Yeah.
get into that.
So I had the goat cheese balls. What year was this? 2023, I think. Or like mid 2023. So it's been a few years. They were pretty good. I was extremely hungry. It was like 10:15. We couldn't get a reservation before 10:15 p.m. So I was like very hungry, but I thought they were great.
Mhm.
Did I think they were like did I feel like these ladies exaggerated on Vanderpump Rules when I, tasted them? I thought, yeah, they exaggerated, but I just thought like that's their thing, They were
Yeah.
like 20-year-olds exaggerating, right?
And you're hungry.
So,
They weren't cooking for
yeah,
themselves. She still doesn't cook. So maybe
right.
that is good for her. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. So I thought they were pretty good. But it's not like I've been dreaming about those goat cheese balls.
That's all I needed to hear. Thank you.
Yeah.
And they
And
call it out
and
and said it's different.
yeah, and she says like now she's like pissed when people tag her on TikTok because she's like, no, now the goat cheese
They're
balls
not
are
the same balls.
disgusting. Yeah, they're not the same balls. I wonder if Lisa Vanderpump would get annoyed by that or not.
Let's find out.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll come up somewhere.
I can't wait. I have
Yeah.
no information on that, but I will. I want to see that play out for sure.
Yeah. How dare you talk crap about my goat
The
cheese balls?
quality of my food.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can see it already.
Oh my gosh. We're gonna have like goat cheese ball gate next season or something like
You know what? And I'm here for it.
me too. Yeah. So, so at the dinner, what kicks it off is like Stassi gets into it with Georgie. She accuses, and then like she all of a sudden randomly she's like, are you guys sleeping together?" Like Georgie and Rob, right? But it's kind of
I didn't think they did.
simultaneously, yeah. Did you see the
Yeah,
clips they
obviously.
showed? Like the
Of course I
past
did.
clips? Yeah, it's like
There's
she's like
some
joking
touching
about
of
sitting on his
parts.
lap. Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
there's touching
exactly.
of parts. Yeah.
I mean, is it like like penetration? Maybe not, but probably. I don't know.
And I don't care, honestly.
Yeah.
They made it a
Yeah.
bigger deal than I cared about. Don't care. Touch other
Yeah.
parts. Don't care.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but like simultaneously, Beau kind of gets into it with Rob because Stassi's kind of pushing the issue of their friendship together. And so, Georgie and Rob are trying to like deny that they slept together. But this all comes out because Rob makes this comment about how he thought he was going to be a father 6 months ago because
What
he
was
was
that?
dating someone for so bizarre.
Delete it all.
Well, that's why exactly. I feel like he's forgettable, but then he'll say these like wild ass shit, like
Stupid.
because he just wants to participate, because he's like he hasn't done anything interesting,
But, like,
and
can you
so
Google what a pregnancy test is? Like, can you
you,
Google, like, how pregnancy works? Can you, like, if
yeah,
you're gonna give a fake story, can you, like, do better?
yeah, seriously, right?
Like,
Like that's not a
there's
thing, right? That you have negative pregnancy tests, and I mean, I suppose if
it
you test too
can. Okay, I
early,
can tell you, for one of mine, I tested too early,
yeah,
and it
you
was, like,
test
one
too
of those,
early, right?
"Oh," and it says on the box, 6 days before, but, like,
Yeah,
it was for my 2nd child, and there's nothing normal about your body after you have a baby.
yeah,
And so I thought, "Oh, I'm regular enough," and I was trying to have kids, and they're born a year and a half apart. So that means at, like, 3 months, what was wrong with my broken brain? Already trying to have another kid, and everything's great, love them, glad they're close. But, of course, my body was not doing what the box told my body it should be doing. That's insane.
yeah,
Like, this is
yeah,
insane behavior. But the way
right,
he presented it was, "Oh, it's common in their family, we take early pregnancy tests that don't work." Like, what
yeah, it's
family it sounded like such a bizarre, "What are you talking about?" Like, you're pregnant or not pregnant. Like, this is not
yeah.
like a spectrum.
Was it Laura Owens? No, I'm just kidding.
No, I was
From
gonna
Love
say, I was
Island.
getting all those I'm like, "You actually have been some psycho catfish," not catfish, but, like, whatever that situation is where someone's like,
Yeah,
"I get pregnant," and then, like, they're telling her parents? The whole story was a no thank you, waste of time, bizarre,
yeah,
"What are you talking about?" None of it and you know what I was grateful for? Everyone at the table said, "What you're saying is insane,
yeah,
and none of this is real."
yeah,
Even Stassi's little sister was like, "I don't like how this sounds.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Everyone's like,
This
"What
is
the
weird."
hell?" But she knew before any of them, which I think was
And
also
that's why I
weird.
think they touched parts at some point.
Yeah, yeah, I think so too. So Beau and Rob get into a wild argument. Beau calls Rob immature. Rob says, "I'm older than you and Stassi." And don't you think, basically, he says like he feels judged for not being able to find a wife, and that, he is secretly jealous of them, and he wants like a wife and a family and all this stuff. And he just hasn't been able to get it, and they should like lay off of him. And then I kind of felt bad for him.
Huh. Everything you said is correct.
Except for the last part.
I did not feel bad for him. I think that that is weaponized a lot, the way he used it.
Yeah,
I think that you don't need to be a grown up. You don't need to get married. You don't have to have kids to be a grown up.
right.
I think for someone that's saying they want those things and
Hmm.
can't have them, there might be a
Hmm.
disconnect from behavior versus goals.
That's true. I could see that.
And
Yeah.
I think that he says he wants certain things, but his actions are not leading up to that. And I think they use different words. It's reality TV. What I'm saying does not sound sexy or fun. But I think if your goal is I want to be married and a parent, there's steps you take to get to that point. It's not
Hmm.
always sexy. It's strange to say out loud. I think a lot of people don't talk about that out loud. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not, I mean, I think we talked about marriage in previous episodes about it is a contract and the whole
Yeah.
unconditional love weirdness myth
Yeah.
that's out there. You
Exactly.
also don't it's not like I was living my best single life, which I did for a couple years between marriages, and marriage just fell in my lap.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
You think like, okay, I want this, and it sounds not sexy, and I'm sure a lot of people don't agree with me, and all those out there that were like getting drunk on a bar and touching everyone's parts and like just fell on top of their spouse and are happily ever married. Great.
Yeah.
That's not my experience, and that's not realistic
Same.
in my world.
Yeah. Same. Yeah. I was like more like, okay, I'm kind of done. Like I'm focusing on myself, finding a
Yes.
good partner, and like doing things that enrich my life. And lo and behold, I met him along that path.
Yeah, and again, mine
So
wasn't, like,
yeah.
planned.
Right.
It wasn't like
Right.
a, "Oh, I do this." It was just like, I'm going to act more like an adult would act or act like a person that I want to be in that life I want. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Like,
Yes. Yeah.
I know what I want in life, so I'm going to act like the person that has that life.
Right. Right.
Like, I'm
I
not
feel
like
you.
I don't offend
It's
anybody,
like,
but it's not accidental.
right. It's like dress for the job you want, not the job you have.
100%. That's the
Right?
best analogy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dress for the job you want to have. I'm not there yet, but
And
like,
that's not to like, that wasn't some like sexist thing about how women should dress. That was like a analogy.
brush your teeth and put on clean clothes
Yeah. Yeah.
if that's the
Exactly.
job you
Yeah.
want. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
you and I
Yeah.
both work in professional worlds. We know what that is. And then, and
Yeah.
you know what? Even men, a man can't show up to this dream job they want in scrubs. I mean, actually, I
Right.
worked in the world we did wear scrubs, but you know what I mean? Like scrubby clothes.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, I think
Yeah.
you're right.
So, we basically end on this like fiasco of Stassi and Beau getting into it because of
Yeah.
because of Beau and Rob's drama and their fight. And so that's
Mhm.
kind of, I guess, where we're going to pick up for the next
Next
episodes.
episode.
And remember, like, this is all like, we're still waiting on this conversation to happen between Kristina Kelly and Katie. And so there's like
It's not
much more
resolved.
drama to be had. Yeah.
There's a lot of tension. We end season four. I keep saying that. Episode 4 of season 1.
Yeah.
We end
Yeah.
with so much tension for
Hmm.
me because of the women,
Yeah.
because I want that to be resolved, because I, as an outsider, can be like, this is a solvable problem.
Right.
And so I want it solved. But then it also broke my heart as a married woman with kids who's exhausted and trying to do the best she can when he told her, and by he, I mean, Beau tells Stassi, I'm going to get wasted and sleep on the couch. And that was not Stassi's intention for this trip.
Right.
And like, I understand why he did that. And I'm not saying he's wrong in his feelings or his reaction. I also could feel, again, I cannot believe I'm in a position with a microphone talking about sympathy for Stassi Schroeder, but here we are. It, I'm sure she felt lonely too in that moment, even if she couldn't say it. And she does. No one has ever accused me of my love language being physical touch.
Mm.
So, and I think I'm a little bit better than her on that, but like, of acknowledging other people's feelings and needs.
Yeah.
Um, but it broke my heart because her biggest fear came true at the end of the
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah. But okay, so this is my thing is like, he came to her and he said,
You did great.
yeah, he said, I don't like what you did. You really
Mhm.
tried to play producer with me. You tried to make me talk to my best friend about our problems in front of the
Yep.
entire friend group. And instead of saying, I understand how you feel, like, I'm sorry, whatever, she says, you've been dying to tell him that. She's like justifying it. And that's when I'm like,
Yeah.
like, if someone did that to me, I'd probably do the same thing he did, which is like, okay, well then I need a break.
Again, I think he did everything I would do in his position.
Yeah.
And I still felt a little heartbreak for her. But I will say, and we'll get into this next episode, I was wrong in our Stassi episode that we recorded a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm. How?
Because she talks about a lot until the show aired about how much therapy and Beau's mom being a therapist played into a positive role.
Mm-hmm.
But we learned she's not really taken the ball and run with that. She's
Right.
not really in therapy.
Yeah. And that's like, there's these certain things where I'm like, like, she might end up doing really well in this world and then
Mhm.
just
At
losing
what
a lot of
cost?
people. Yeah.
Mhm.
And we'll talk more about it in the next episode, but yeah, I hope she does better.
Me too. Here I am again. I identify with Beau. I support Beau.
Team Beau.
I,
Yeah.
I can't, yeah, 100%. I can't believe Taylor is on my screen
Yeah.
as someone like from my past.
Huh.
Katie, 10 to 10. I loved our episode together that
Yeah.
you and I talked about Katie, because
I
I feel
know.
like she's holding her own and justifying it. Christine Kelly, I've always had a love, hate, indifference
Uh-huh.
thing.
Me too.
Are
I
you
could take
more
her or
like
leave her.
indifferent? I don't know. Something bothered. I'm not a jealous person. Anyone that knows me, I
Hmm.
mean, I'm jealous of someone like is rich and has a yacht, I guess, but like not jealous of like women in my life.
Hmm.
Uh, I got so jealous of the scene where Stassi came to her house and she had like these baked goods that she was presenting because I felt like that's what I do.
Hmm.
And I felt like, who is this woman pretending she could? I don't know. There's something weird triggering. Like, I don't think she's genuine, or is she very genuine when she pretends that she never wanted to be on Vanderpump? I have questions.
Yeah,
I
me
don't
too.
trust her. And jealousy's not the right. There's something that's like triggering. Like, she's pretending to be something. And is she, or is she not?
She's always like the hanger-oner, you know?
But then why
And
did
I
she
feel like
say, "Oh, I chose to be above this"?
right.
I need to talk to my therapist about my feelings about this woman.
The fact that she feels so much the need to say that makes me feel like
Judgment.
my initial
Mhm,
feeling about her is true, which is that she is a hanger-oner.
mhm.
And now she's finally getting to be an actual character on a show instead of like a friend of like a friend of tier two,
But
because
she
that's how she
always
was
kinda
in Vanderpump.
was. I don't know.
Yeah. So now she's
Okay.
like an actual character, but she's like trying to like rewrite history and say that like,
I have
I don't know, all
questions.
these, yeah, me too. I have questions.
We're gonna get through it. I'm not settled. I feel like I'm very settled with all the characters. I'm not settled on her yet. But
Same.
maybe if
Yeah.
we talk it through as friends, we can figure it out. But I will say, to end this episode, I was so fascinated and gobsmacked when Stassi said the following line, and I wrote it down. It's the only line I wrote down. Reality TV solves more problems than it causes.
Does it? I mean, like,
I'm gonna reading Rainbow this moment. Is it like the more you know? I don't know. Like, that sounds insane to me.
it sounds insane to me, but then I think about her
But is it
and
true?
I feel like there's a certain type of person that doesn't realize what they're like until maybe they watch themselves. And then maybe that's what she needs to understand what she's like. Otherwise, she can't. So maybe for her, it's kind of true. I don't know.
Have you ever met a celebrity in real life?
Um, in real life, I mean,
Ran into them in the wild?
yeah, like, yeah, right, yeah, but not like had like sit down conversation kind of thing.
Yeah. No, I'm going just real quick before we get on this. I was just curious about the whole Kardashian thing. Cause there's only one time that I've like accidentally, not accidentally, I knew he was going to be there, like a celebrity I wanted to like see. But for the most
Hmm.
part, cause I worked in that, I've told you this before, like
Yeah,
I lived and worked in Westwood and Beverly Hills. I don't anymore. So you would just see them out in the wild. Um,
yeah,
but I'm still so fascinated. And we'll get to in the next episode about when she finally runs into Kris Jenner. And I'm just like, my mind's
yeah,
broken. Anyway,
yeah.
it's not that dramatic, people.
Yeah, it's kind of like be careful what you wish for, right?
Yeah. I think, you know
Yeah.
what? That should be the tagline for this whole freaking season.
Yeah, seriously.
Nailed it. All right.
Yeah. All right. We will be back in a couple days, right?
Episode five, no,
Yeah, 5 through 8.
yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8, season one, House of Stassi. We'll be back.
Robyn, tell my listeners where they can find you.
So my podcast is Reality Bio with Robyn, Robyn, not Robin Brown, but Reality Bio with Robyn. And you can find it anywhere you listen to your podcast. And also I have an Instagram with the same handle and also a Facebook group that I'm working on. And it's called Reality Bio Lounge.
Great. Awesome. And for our Chai After Dark listeners, you can hear me on more episodes of Reality Bio with Robyn, like our Katie Maloney episode, and Bree is going to come out later, and we've done several others, so go check that out.
Stassi.
And Stassi, yes, and our Stassi episode. And yeah, give us 5 stars at on Apple and
Oh,
Spotify and
yes.
all the
It actually really
places. Please
helps.
do that.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
And even
Um,
like I always say, if you hate us, that's fine. Leave that comment too, but just leave 5 stars with that comment.
yeah. So go over to Chai After Dark and leave us 5 stars, and go over to Reality Bio with Robyn and leave Robyn 5 stars, and 5 stars all around, right? Like, why
Thank you.
not?
Yes.
Yeah.
It feels
Yeah.
good.
Feels great. Yeah. All right. I'll talk to you soon.